Okay, 1 year ago, a community very near to here got a bit of a shock. A large private multinational company, Ineos, or Ineosaurus, that name will stick now, announced they wanted to drill to explore for shale gas at Marsh Lane near Eckington. That's less than 10 miles from here. If successful, fracking will follow. In our region, we are now facing 6 exploration wells at 5 sites: Misson near Bawtry, Tinker Lane near Blythe and Retford, Marsh Lane, and now Hartshill and Woodsets in Rotherham. Experts say that if they can have as many wells as they want to get, there could be up to 90,000 wells across the north of England. Ineos have admitted themselves that in an area 10 kilometres by 10 kilometres, they want up to 400 wells. So, to tell us about the year-long fight against Ineos at Marsh Lane and how people can support Marsh Lane and the other communities and those others that may be under threat in the future, please welcome a good friend of mine now, the chair of Eckington Against Fracking, David Kesteven.
Thank you, David. And thank you, Friends of the Earth, for giving me the loudest PA I've ever spoken into. Wasn't quite a year ago. It was January the 7th last year. My life changed. It was a text from, well, it was a Facebook message from Dave Burley, and it said that they wanted to drill at Marsh Lane. And it was just up to then, global warming is this really strange thing that is affecting us all. It's this nebulous thing that we can't do enough about. You know, we can recycle, we can cycle, we can do all these things, but we can't really get a handle on it because the powers that be are driving it. These fossil fuel companies are driving it for their ends. It's what can you do? But then, all of a sudden, it was there. I'm lucky. I live about 1.5 miles from the well. Because it's on the top of the hill, I'll be able to see it from my bedroom, from my bathroom, from the garden. I'll be able to hear it. But my friends live 300 metres. Tracy's got a rose nursery 300 metres from the well. Richard and Lynn, they live 300 metres from the well. Cassie's little girl goes to primary school 400 metres from the well. They will not only be able to see it and hear it, they'll be able to feel it and smell it. And they'll drill for 3 months to get to the bottom of that hill, 24/7 for 3 months. And when you go to these Dave Burley's talks, he tells you about how bad fracking is. Yeah, we know, we're going to get ill. And knowing that is coming, you know, if we're going to win fracking, you know, we've got planning coming up, we've got to win planning, because otherwise they'll do it. They're going to make us ill. They're going to take our communities, and they're going to ruin our roads. You know, all those trucks going to come down the country lane where at the moment we have cyclists, we have horses, all that's going to go unless we stop them. And when you know that it's all for this multinational company that's got more money than they need, and they're just doing it for greed, when the solution is renewable. We know all the answers, it's just so frustrating. Because the answers are all there, but the fossil fuel companies are driving the arguments the other way. And it's like we're in this battle, and we can never do enough. You know, I wake up, I look out the window, that's where the well's going to be. And you just can't do enough in the day, and you sit down at night in front saying, is there something else I could have done? Because it's this battle is so strong, and it's like you're playing a game with somebody, except they know the rules, and they've got more pieces than you. And they keep changing it. The Infrastructure Act 2015, we didn't know. And then you look round at it and it says, oh yeah, all those protections you used to have in law, they don't exist anymore. So you could get a bit down, couldn't you? But you get good days. Scotland. Yes! Scotland did it. Ineos. They've got a plant in Grangemouth, 40,000 jobs. They must have been leaning on the Scottish nationalists like hell. And they said, no, we're looking after our people. We're not looking after the multinationals. Germany have done the same. You know, they said in 2015 their groundwater is more important. And I mean, if anybody could make fracking safe through regulation, you'd think the Germans would be able to do it. But you can't make fracking safe, and we can't allow it. You get other things. I was driving here and a car pulled out in front of me nicely and had no fracking way on the back door. You know, we are building a movement. I was up at Kirby Misperton Sunday and someone said, oh, I've got friends moved down to Marsh Lane. He says, you've got no fracking way everywhere. Yes, we have. Yes, we are winning. 2 weeks ago, well, 3 weeks ago, I don't know, it's a bit of a blur. But we had a rally up the field because Lynn is 200 metres from the well. She let us have our field and we got 750 people in that field saying no fracking way. Possibly the biggest no fracking rally. And the government know this, they're getting cold feet. We are actually on a roll. We're actually winning and we are actually going to win this. And we're going to win this by public shows of support, what this is, and it was going to happen in Eckington. And it's not just Eckington, it's Hart Hill, it's Woodsets. They're facing exactly the same as we are. You know, but we're pulling together. On Thursday I talked to Cresswell because INEOS are doing a great job at recruiting for us. They're recruiting for the environmental movement by seismic testing all this area. They've got these thugs driving around in trucks, smashing up the roads and making your drinking water turn brown, and all that rubbish is going on. And when that happens, people get wise because fracking is so huge they can't hide it anymore. And so anyway, I thought as a way of wrapping up, because shouting's good, innit? Makes you feel better. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions and the answer of each one is written on my t-shirt. Right, so are we going to accept drilling in Marsh Lane? No! Good way! Good. Are we going to accept drilling in Hart Hill? No! No fracking way! Right, are we going to accept drilling in Woodsets? No fracking way! Are we going to let them destroy our health, our roads, our environment, our way of life in order to vertically integrate the supply chain of a plastics multinational for a product we don't even want? No fracking way! Are we going to accept defeat? You're awesome, thank you.